All right, welcome back. As people are coming back in, I am starting to record, so you'll have that prompt to approve that. And then we will be going live on the Facebook. So depending on how comfortable you are with the background. But before we do that, I wanted just to have a quick debrief of what came out of your discussion. What are you seeing within your organization? Anybody want to share?
This is Helene. I can share just a little bit to summarize for our group. On the first question, some of the needs are staffing, making sure that we have people who can and are able to come back to work. And also, we talked a lot about some of the positive outcomes that have happened as a result of just being able to connect in this sort of way via Zoom. For example, it's really reached new populations of people, such as preschool students, senior citizens, and a variety of people able to connect that way. And then in terms of what needs we have from the Fullerton Collaborative, really there's a need for volunteers and high-level volunteers that would be able to go through training programs with an organization that has that need, and then would be able to help lead and run programs. So that's something that really would be helpful. And just really helping to get the word out about the work that organizations are doing and what just kind of promoting, whether it's events or causes, those types of things as well. But those were just a few of the highlights that we discussed.
Excellent. Thank you, Helene. Anything that you want to share, Katie, from your breakout?
We had a really kind of like a diverse group. And so some people felt that maybe not much had changed during the pandemic, that they were still continuing on. Definitely there's loss of revenue. And so trying to find ways to kind of be creative and continue to provide that high quality service with loss of revenue. Some organizations have also lost staffing. So that's kind of a challenge too, in terms of like here to stay. We do see that there are definitely going to be people who are going to keep virtual components because they did find that maybe they were able to reach some populations that they had not reached before. So they like that integration of continuing to have not only those high touch services, but also having some of those virtual components to supplement, but not necessarily as a replacement for in-person services.
Excellent. Well, thank you for sharing. And I realized, I don't know if everybody knows everybody else. Katie, can you just remind us again on what role you play at Cal State Fullerton, and then Helene as well?
Yes, thank you. I'm the Director of Local Government and Community Relations for Cal State Fullerton, and I'm also a Fullerton Collaborative Board member.
Thank you. And Helene, can you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Helene Morris. I'm the Director of Administrative Services for the Fullerton School District, and I'm on the Fullerton Collaborative Board as well.
Thank you. Excellent. And Barry, I'm going to have you do a brief update from what you discussed in your breakout and introduce yourself.
I'm going to ask someone else to also add because I came in sort of late, but we talked about the whole issue of safety and how also vaccines is part of safety, because we were talking about the issues of people not wanting to get vaccine, but the larger issue of safety, particularly in South Fullerton. And I think when I came into the meeting, there was discussion about some of the changes with the programs for the arts and also around the scholarship programs that Fred is doing. So is there anybody in the group that wants to share what was discussed before I came on?
Maybe Kelly?
Well, this is
Jesse?
I'm the I'm the director of the Center for Healthy Neighborhoods. And basically our group was talking about how we all went virtual. I think for the area on students into college, programs like that actually expanded. The arts program had to dramatically reduce. They went online, but they had some really awesome programs. Our center went mainly virtual. Of course, a lot of, we immediately went out and we do a lot of food drives and partnered a lot. And the concerns, I think, was around access to technology, safety, those issues.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jesse. Once again, the director of the Center for Healthy Neighborhoods, and also Barry Ross, the treasurer for the collaborative, and also works many hats with St. Jude as well. So thank you both. Kevin, I know you're multitasking right now. Do you want to go ahead and just provide what you got from your subcommittee and maybe?
Yeah, for sure. Similar to Barry, I came in late, so Marilyn, Harry, or Pedro, you guys can add to this right afterwards. But we mostly were talking about the fact that we had to close or change things during COVID for sure, and not just the gathering, and to be able to, with the vaccinations and having more volunteers come in, that's been able to be a huge difference. So even Marilyn was talking about she's been able to restore again, have that run again. Harry was really appreciating that everybody he can volunteer in person and stuff like that. So the help that we probably would need is just to see how this rides out as we are getting more vaccinated as a community and there's more people allowing to gather.
That's an excellent point. Thank you, Kevin. Looks like we lost your internet a little bit. So Marilyn, do you want to add to that, or Peter? So you're muted, Marilyn. Go ahead and unmute yourself. There you go.
I think Kevin captured what we talked about, even though he was a bit late. I think we're all happy that we're getting closer to coming back to a normal situation where we can do what we do in person with more people rather than remotely or with distance meetings and such.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And thank you, Kevin. He is the executive director of Solidarity and also a board member for the collaborative. Excellent. And thank you, Marilyn. So in room 5, we had Michael and Ricky and Tracy. I think she had to step out. I'm assuming the similar content, Michael and Ricky. Have anything to add? And actually, yeah. Ricky, introduce yourself. Yeah. You're new to the collaborative. This is the first time you've come, so.
Yeah, sure. My name is Ricky Baines. I am the executive director of the Fullerton Family YMCA. Got piqued, obviously, my interest was piqued by collaborative. I know Debbie comes to the Fullerton Family YMCA sometimes, so I thought it would be a great way just to bridge myself to the community and to obviously allies in the community such as yourself. So yeah, to kind of just extend on the conversation that we had with Michael, Paige, and Tracy was, it's kind of parallels to a lot of the other breakout groups as far as what we discussed. I think probably more than anything, probably the theme was that a lot of our organizations have to flex, obviously, to meet the needs post-pandemic. And if it's to the effect that Michael was telling us through obviously what he does with his church services, that a lot of other organizations now are relying on what he does with his churches, with his organizations, because they created almost like the prototype for how to obviously manage and to kind of operate into kind of the construct of post-COVID. Obviously, Paige was saying that they've been operating primarily remotely. And so as they started, they've been coming in. And Tracy's been saying, obviously, they've had to flex and adjust their services with the school district. And then for us, it's kind of the same thing. We've had to pivot and flex as the tiers have gone through the different structures, whether it's purple, orange, red. So we've had to obviously make those adjustments necessary. But also with that, you obviously have the opportunity to learn about, how to step out of your comfort zone and learn different ways to manage your organization, whether it be through changing in staff structure, changing in revenue. It's always just a good opportunity to reflect on different ways you can manage through such a difficult time.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing. Excellent. So I think as we're moving into the next portion of our agenda, we're going to actually ask Barry to present an update on our work with regards to the vaccine and how we can better support our community as well. So
thank you, Deborah. And I want to apologize to my group because we did talk a little bit about it. But what we're seeing in Fullerton is what we're seeing everywhere else in the country. The number of people that want vaccines is going down. There's a lot of availability of vaccine right now. Our sites, including the site at Orangethorpe, is probably seeing half the number of people we were seeing 3 weeks ago. And so we have a lot of capacity. We're offering on Thursdays, every Thursday, both Moderna and Johnson & Johnson, so people have a choice of what they want to get, but they're not signing up. They're not making appointments. We're also taking walk-ins anytime that we're there, as well as all our other sites. So, you know, there are a lot of barriers now. The people that really wanted the vaccine, most of them have gotten it. Now we're dealing with people who are not sure if they want the vaccine or they don't want the vaccine. And so different approaches are needed to address that. And as trusted partners to people you work with, you have the ability to talk to people and engage them in conversation about why it's going to help everyone return to normal, which is what we want. So we're looking at, you know, what strategies there will be. We're also trying to think through what is the right approach when Pfizer is approved very soon, probably this week. They'll be approved for 12 to 16-year-olds, and what might that look like? How do parents now get engaged with their teens to encourage them to get the vaccine? And we, you know, that has to be worked on as well. So I would encourage you to let us know if there are things we can do to help promote the vaccine that's available. The fact is, if we don't have a higher immunity, we're subject to new variants that could cause more concern. And that's not what we want here in California. So that's why this is really important. I think a lot of people are either tired of this or they think it's over, and it is not over. As we saw in India, it's not over. So we really need to encourage people to take the vaccine before a variant that would be a stronger variant comes up in California. So thank you.
Excellent. Any questions for Barry?
I got a quick question, Barry. Sorry, Paulette. Yeah. You want to go first?
Go ahead, Kevin.
Okay. Barry, is Pfizer the only one that's 16 and over, or is Moderna and Johnson & Johnson also 16 and over?
It's just Pfizer right now, and Pfizer is going to be the first one to be 12 and over. So the other ones are working on it, but Pfizer is the first one. So that creates other issues because Pfizer can only be left after it's thawed. It can only be used for a small number of hours, and then it can't be used and it's wasted. So you really need to be able to give it out quickly when you're using Pfizer, which is why we haven't been giving it out at our community sites as much. We've been doing it at the hospital just because you have to use it pretty quickly.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. And Paulette, you had a question?
I didn't have a question. I had a comment that 1.2 million people in Orange County at least have had one dose. And we're, of course, wanting to do over 2 million people. So once the SuperPod sites close next month, there's going to be per week 17 to 20 smaller pods going to specific areas and neighborhoods. And if there are groups that want the vaccine, or we can, you know, present some educational programs and whatnot about getting it. So we open up more of the county. That's going to be a good thing, but I think it's going to be a lot easier for people to get the vaccine. A lot of these mobile pods will be 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. so people can come after work. There won't be a sign up. It'll be walk-in type of thing, and convenience is going to be really important going forward.
Excellent. That's a good point. Yes.
I was going to ask, and Paulette answered my question. So some of them are walk-in. Is Barry's walk-in as well? We have a lot of people that ask now that we're kind of half open about, where to go for vaccines and whatnot.
Yeah. Ours are walk-in, and also if you go now on the My Turn site, you can click either make an appointment or where can I get a walk-in? And if you click on walk-in, it will show you the days and hours and locations for walk-in sites nearby. So that is just came out last week, that feature.
Thank you.
Excellent. Excellent. Any other questions? All right. So as we're moving on into our discussion, I put on the agenda as something that we may want to consider is the discussion around the redistricting in Orange County and the role of the collaborative. And I don't see our partners here yet, or if they're not able to join us today, in the redistricting process. I just wanted to introduce that thought. So Barry, I know you're a little bit involved with that. Do you, can you share what your understanding of the redistricting?
Well, just that as every time there's a census, there's an opportunity to look at districts. And the question, I think, was, does the collaborative membership want some more education so we can better educate our constituents about the importance of this? Because based on the districts that people may run in, whether it's school board, whether it's federal, state, local, it affects who we can vote for and who can run, and whether or not certain communities have representation. So the question really, I think, as a board, we were interested in is finding out if collaborative members wanted some more education around it or not. I think that was our question.
Right. Excellent. So responses to that, we'll have more discussion, I know, in our board.
There's a hand up, Debbie.
Yes. Oh, Kayla, excellent. Thank you for joining us today. Introduce yourself. And...
Hi, my name is Kylie or Kayla. I am the redistricting organizer for OC Environmental Justice, part of the People's Redistricting Alliance, which is part of that independent redistricting commission for the state of California. We are focusing on the city of Fullerton. So yeah, I just wanted to hop by because Deborah told me that y'all were talking about redistricting a little bit today. So if y'all have any questions about the process, the rules, anything like that, how it impacts, I just put together a PowerPoint, so I can really just give you the Spark Notes. If you all are interested in attending the more in-depth meeting, we'll be having one, I think it's the 26th, if I'm not mistaken, of this month. So if y'all are interested, I'd be more than happy to invite you. So yeah, I just want to introduce myself there, and I can help field any questions as well.
Great, thank you, and excellent. Thank you for sharing and joining us today. So we will have more discussion as we're moving forward as well in this process. Excellent. So we do have some subcommittee reports, and we'll start with actually, I'm going to jump to the bottom of our agenda. Peter, would you be able to do an update on health and wellness?
Sure, of course. So on behalf of Move More Eat Healthy, we just wanted to remind everyone that we are still offering in virtual classes and activities. So we're continuing to offer dance, fitness, Zumba, Pound Fitness, and home workout classes for adults. If you're interested in finding the schedule, you can always visit movemoreeathealthy.org, and it'll be under our Move More Classes category. What I'll also do is I'll share the link in the chat box so all of you can visit that and maybe share it with all of the community members you work with. With youth, we are offering mindfulness workshops and also cooking demonstration classes. So again, if you're interested, you can find it in all of our social media platforms. And again, I'll share the link in the chat box. Also, I know Barry mentioned it. On behalf of St. Jude Medical Center, we are having the vaccine community clinics at Orange Thorpe United Methodist Church from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. He also mentioned that we're accepting walk-ins. I'm actually working the event, so I'll be there as well. So there's that. And also for the summer, Move More Eat Healthy, we will be launching a Summer Steps Challenge on June 1st, where we are asking potential participants to download the application Walker Tracker, just to really get everyone motivated and excited to engage in physical activity. And so what we're essentially doing is we're asking participants to download the app, and then we're inviting them to our Move More Summer Steps Challenge through the application. And it actually automatically keeps track of the steps that participants are taking. That way they can see each other and really engage in competition and just get really excited. And of course, we will have prizes for the Summer Steps Challenge. If anyone has any questions, comments, or concerns, I'm here. But that's it, Debbie.
Excellent. So, any other questions that we had? All right. I just wanted to share a couple of updates. Trang was here earlier, but she had to leave, and she wanted me to do a quick update in regards to their the education program. And of course, Barry, if you wanted to chime in as well. They wanted to, at the last meeting on the 21st, the committee reviewed the results of the Early Child OC Community Self-Assessment. They divided into 3 groups in their brainstorm how to support families under 3 pillars. They talked about resilient families, quality early learning, and comprehensive health and development. Their next meeting is going to be on May 25th, and they will review the brainstorm and create an action plan around that. So if you are interested in getting more information and getting involved in this subcommittee and the work and the collaborative work around education and early education, please reach out to Barry, he's on the phone, but also myself or to Trang, and we'll make sure that you get that information in regards to that subcommittee. Any questions from the group? I think we're good. All right. And then I also wanted to present just on behalf of Next Gen. Christian wanted to just invite everyone that wants to come and join it. They have their next meeting on Tuesday, June the 1st at 10 a.m. They do like a water cooler kind of a meeting where they share resources back and forth and to find out what's going on in the city. So if you are working with the youth, we would love to have you join us there at the next meeting. And Christian is the chair along with Bev Berryman, and they will be able to help support you and connecting you with the resources in the city of Fullerton and supporting each other in that area as well. All right, and then I believe Kelly was on earlier, but I think she had to leave, in regards to the homelessness and how we can help support that. There is not another update on behalf of the collaborative task force. Jason is actually helping someone right now in regards to moving someone's RV to storage for the navigation center. So he's doing the work right now. We wish him well in that area. And so as we're moving forward, and if the tasks ahead, if you're interested, and I know that we've been telling it, a lot of those that are working in the field, be on the lookout for emails and the work that is happening in the city of Fullerton, because it is happening, and we look forward to having that discussion and that work with you as well. So that's the updates in those 4 subcommittees. And I would love to open this up now. We have 12 more minutes. And the agenda is the collaborative partner announcements. And I see a lot in the chat. And if, unfortunately, for some reason, the settings weren't set right and I couldn't change them where you can't email each other personally. So you're just having to email everyone to the broad public, which is great. And just wanted to do some shout outs. If you have things coming on that you want to be shouted out, and this is streaming live on Facebook, so please feel free to raise your hand and I'll call on you. And I realized, Bev, you're here. I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were there for Next Gen. So hopefully,
no, you did fine.
Okay.
I came in late, so you're okay.
Okay, good. All right. So anyone want to share any announcements? I see some in the chat. Kelly, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kelly Whiteman from All the Arts for All the Kids Foundation, and we just have a couple things. One, we want to say thank you to all of you. And no, I am not Laura Lynn. She's still around. Everybody recognizes Laura Lynn, but it's me now. We are able to have our summer adventure camp again. So if anybody's looking for a summer camp for their students, we are online, allthearts.org. We're filling up really quick because of with the COVID restrictions and whatnot. We're keeping it smaller this year, but we're back. So we're very excited about that. And the other thing is the Fullerton Sunrise Rotary Club is holding a wine tasting fundraiser for us and Fullerton Museum Center. So I put the information and everything. Again, you go to fullertonsunriserotary.org to purchase a package. We'd love to see you all and keep the arts going in Fullerton.
Excellent. Thank you, Kelly, for sharing. Okay, and then Zoot, I see that you put some things in regards to the Jane Nesh's Fellowship Program. If people came in late, they may not have seen it. So can you just share with what's going on with that?
Yes. Give me a second here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I just turned my thing back off. Okay. So the Jane Nesh Center is getting ready to start our fellowship program again for the summer, which will start at the end of May and run until mid-July. We'll be off for July 4th week, so you don't have to worry about that. It's on Zoom. You don't have to go anywhere. It's on Fridays from 9 to 12. There are scholarships available through the Orange County Community Foundation and SoCal Gas, and we have through the Rotary Club of Fullerton a couple of scholarships that are full ride scholarships for Fullerton-based organizations. So if you're interested, please contact me ASAP. I put the link in the chat, and they're first come, first serve. I have a feeling that the last scholarships will go fast. We only have a couple more weeks before it's upon us. So check it out and feel free to be part of it. If you have any questions, you can always reach me by email or phone.
Excellent. Thank you, Zoot, for sharing that. And then Father Dennis, I know you put in the chat, but if you want to do a shout out on Facebook about the May 13th.
Okay, yeah, simply a shout out to two events. Tomorrow at the noon hour, we're going to have our monthly prayer service for those who died without fixed abode, homeless in Orange County. There were 32 people who died in April. The last year that there was no COVID, there were 19. And then also on Thursday morning, we're going to be we're helping the Islamic Center of Fullerton host their end of Ramadan Eid service at 8:30 in the morning on Thursday. For both, I put information in the chat. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Father. Excellent. And then Corey, can you do are you still here? A shout out?
Yes,
okay.
I'm here. Yes, so we have launched our newest segment under Discover Fullerton, which is our Live Local program that is really focused on supporting our small businesses in Fullerton. We have completed our Destination Downtown video guided walking tour, which highlights 10 different businesses in the downtown area. You can find all of those videos on YouTube and our Fullerton Community Center Live Local page. We're now recruiting business applications for the next segment, which is the SoCo District Walk. And those applications are due Wednesday. So if you know of any businesses that would be interested in being filmed and being on video, let them know, send them our way. We'll start those recordings now, and are also accepting business applications through May 20th for the larger Fullerton scavenger hunt. That will be a 6-week program and promote all of our Fullerton businesses.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Anyone else want to share?
Yeah.
Ed has his hand up.
Yeah.
Okay, go for it.
Hi. As some of you know, I founded and I'm the director of Advance Onto College, a nonprofit based in La Habra, but I want the collaborative to know that we are now working strongly in Fullerton. This is the first year we're able to give scholarships out away from, other than at La Habra and Sonora high schools. We'll be giving scholarships next week at Fullerton High School. And the following week we're giving one scholarship to a young man at La Vista. And then to Sunny Hills, we're doing one. Buena Park, we're doing a couple. So we're in full. We have funders now from Fullerton who know about us and want us to extend our work out here. So we'll be here. And thanks to the collaborative, by the way, because we were so locked in and parochial in La Habra, right? And all of a sudden I met Deb, and Deb said, "You guys ought to join the Fullerton." I said, "All right." And even though we were virtual this year, we helped over 600 kids. One-on-one appointments, getting those kids into college. Thank you, Bev.
Excellent.
It's a good story.
Excellent. Thank you, Fred, for all that you do. Yeah. Kevin, do you want to provide us a shout out?
Yeah, real quick, I mentioned this at our last meeting, but it's been taking us a while to get organized. We are going to be having it's kind of like a listening and action session. We're calling it Amplify AAPI Fullerton. So it's a space where on behalf of the collaborative and co-sponsoring with WTLC, we're going to have a space for Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders that reside or work in Fullerton to share stories, to kind of a place of solidarity for everything that's going on with the rise in anti-Asian hate and violence. And so we're going to run that on May 29th, and it'll probably be from 5 to 6:30. We're just kind of ironing out the last details, but that those flyers will be going up soon, and it'll be a place for everybody to be invited to. But we are asking that anybody who does not identify as Asian American or Pacific Islander, that they come in as a listener, and they take the time just to listen to the voices that are being and sharing the stories during this time.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Excellent. All right. And Marilyn, I know that you put in the chat a shout out to the Assistance League, the website for the upcoming thrift store art sale. So you want to check out their website. Do you want to add to that, Marilyn? Anything else?
No, and I'm sorry, I don't have the date. It's going to be in a few weeks, but we get some beautiful donations of lovely artwork, frames, and so forth, and collect them over a period of time. So that it would be worth going in and taking a look. We've all found some wonderful things. So this is probably not as interesting, but I think next week they're having a handbag sale. They said they had some like designer bags and everything. Anyway, we'll see how that goes, but it will be a much smaller event than the art sale.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. I'm seeing,
I got one last thing.
Okay,
this
go
happened
for it.
45 minutes ago, according to what Barry was saying. The FDA has approved Pfizer vaccine for adolescents 12 to 15 years old. So just passed. Barry was on top of it. Broke it before Twitter did.
Well, we have our own insider, right? We have the inside scoop here when we have Barry around. So we are so grateful. There is a note for you, Kevin, in the chat, to make sure to check that out. And I believe we have the end of the meeting. Jerry, thank you for joining us. I know you in the chat mentioned about your resource navigation. Do you have anything to add today?
Basically, the fact because of COVID, I'm not getting a lot of the updates. What I've been referring specifically to pantries is being updated through 211. So my program directs them over to that program. and that's being updated through the County Emergency Operations Center. So the information is pretty accurate.
Excellent, thank you. And then lastly, Jay, do you have an update for OC United? You want to do a shout out on Facebook?
No, I just wanted to just happy to affirm everybody. It's great to see your faces and the good work going on in our city. So happy to be collaborating with you all and looking forward as we continue to move and things open up and we get a chance to collaborate in person. That will be wonderful.
Great. Yes.
Thank you.
Wonderful job to your team for your work with Love Fullerton. It was an honor to have that again. So way to go. Way to work hard. Everybody's clapping virtually. All right. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and end the meeting. We're 1 minute shy of the 3:30 mark. Thank you, everyone. Just mark your calendar. Our next meeting is around the corner. It'll be on June 12th. We are waiting and anticipating the day when we'll be able to meet back in person in our lovely general meeting. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and go virtual, and I will be sending out information and resources on seeing if that is a good. Yes, sorry, June 14th. Thank you, Helene. Yes, June 14th is our next meeting. And as we are getting closer to maybe opening back up and maybe being in person, we'll maybe be doing both virtual and in person, doing the streaming. So depending on your comfort level and also depending on ease. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous Monday and be with you.
Thank you, Deb.
Thank you, Debbie.